The email has no subject line. You read it 3 times. 4 words in the body. You've been selected. Reply. Your hands don't shake. That surprises you. A man gets asked to walk into the most dangerous criminal organization in North America and his hands stay perfectly still on the keyboard. Maybe that's why they picked you. Maybe that stillness was always going to lead somewhere like this. You hit reply. 48 hours later you're in a back room of a restaurant in Nogales, Arizona. Tile floors. A ceiling fan turning slow like it gave up years ago. The man across from you is named Chucho. Soft hands. Clean nails. The kind of man who hasn't carried anything heavier than a phone in a long time. He orders 2 plates of food and touches neither. He slides a laptop across the table. You open it. 14 shell companies. Payroll records bleeding money through gaps so wide a first-year audit student could find them. Your eyes move across the columns. You don't blink. You don't hesitate. You do what Marcos Reyes, your cover, your legend, the man they built for 3 years, would do. You scroll. You nod once. ¿Puedes limpiar esto? Can you clean this? Dame una semana. Give me a week. Chucho closes the laptop. Stands. Straightens his shirt like the meeting never happened. He's already walking out when your chest finally tightens. Just once. 1 cold squeeze. Then nothing. Hi viewers, right now, you're watching someone walk into something they can't walk back from. Here's what I want to know: if the money was life-changing and the risk felt manageable, would you have hit reply too? Drop your honest answer in the comments. That night in a motel room with a broken AC that rattles like a dying man, you open your secure line and type your first field report. Case reference. Location. Persons encountered. Time of contact. You sign off at 1:17 a.m. 2 phones on the nightstand. 1 for Chucho. 1 stored under Uncle Rafael, your handler. You stare at both of them in the dark. Then an encrypted message arrives on Chucho's phone. 3 words. Bigger task. Tomorrow. The meat distributor in Hermosillo is running $400,000 a month in cash through a payroll built for 40 workers who don't exist. You find this at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. By 1 p.m. you've restructured it across 6 entities, timed the deposits to stay below federal reporting thresholds, and introduced 2 ghost vendors as pass-throughs that look cleaner than most legitimate businesses you've audited. You eat lunch. You send the file to Chucho at 6 p.m. He calls at 6:17. Doesn't say a word about the work. Just says, same time next week. That is the only compliment you will ever receive from these people. The weeks stack. The amounts climb. 400,000 becomes 1.2 million. 1.2 becomes a 3-country routing problem you solve on a Thursday afternoon while eating a cold torta at your kitchen table. Every account number, every company name, every contact goes straight into your secure transmissions to Uncle Rafael. The operation is building. The case file is thickening. Back in Phoenix, people in conference rooms are using words like breakthrough and unprecedented access. But here is the thing nobody writes in any manual. You get good at it. Not performing good. Not cover story good. Actually. Good. The part of your brain that solves problems doesn't know the money is criminal. It only registers the puzzle. The gap. The fix. And when you close the gap, something fires, brief, clean, chemical, and for 3 or 4 seconds, the room feels clear. You notice this on a Thursday morning in the shower. The water goes cold and you're still standing there. You haven't thought about your daughter in 5 days. El Contador is 61 years old, has 3 gold teeth, and 2 weeks after you meet him you realize he is training his own replacement. That replacement is you. He knows the full infrastructure. Safe houses. Courier routes. The percentage taken at every level. The federal customs officer in Agua Prieta who receives $18,000 a month in cash, brought by a woman driving a white Kia who lists her occupation as teacher. El Contador hands you the files without once making eye contact. On his last day he shakes your hand. His grip is tight. Too long. He looks at you finally and says nothing. He doesn't have to. You now know everything he knew. And somewhere above both of you, a door just quietly opened, and you have no idea yet what's standing on the other side. The ranch is 40 miles outside Ciudad Obregón. No address. No sign. The kind of place that exists on no map because the men who built it preferred it that way. 12 men around a table. You are the only one without a weapon on his hip. The man at the head is introduced to you simply as El Jefe Regional. Late 40s. Plain white shirt. He speaks so quietly the entire room leans forward to hear him. You understand immediately, power this absolute doesn't raise its voice. It barely breathes. He wants to discuss a rival sellout of Guadalajara. They've been cutting into Sonora routes. He wants their financial infrastructure mapped. Primary accounts. Holding companies. Whoever signs the wire transfers. He slides a USB drive across the table toward you. 11 faces watch your hands. You pick it up. Back in your apartment that night, you type the field report with the window open because the room feels too small. Meeting attended. New directive received. Authorization requested for active penetration of rival network. Uncle Raphael responds at 4 a.m. 8 words. Authorized. Do not compromise the operation. Move fast. Not, be careful. Not, remember who you are. Just, move fast. You build the technical bridge into the Guadalajara cell's payment processor over 2 days. It is careful, deliberate work. On day 3 you deliver the account numbers to El Jefe on a folded piece of paper. He doesn't open it at the table. He just nods once and tucks it into his shirt pocket like you handed him a grocery receipt. You drive back in silence. You eat eggs. You watch TV you cannot describe an hour later. Men in Guadalajara are about to lose everything because of what's on that paper. You know this. You sleep 9 hours straight. The sleeping doesn't bother you as much as the fact that it doesn't bother you. Your wife calls on a Sunday. You answer on the 4th ring. She says you sound different. Tired, you tell her. You always say that. I'm always tired. She pauses. Starts to ask something. You talk over her with a question about your daughter's school project and she lets you redirect her, and you both pretend that was a normal conversation. You hang up. The ceiling fan turns. Both phones sit on the counter. One of them buzzes. It's not your wife's number. It never is anymore. His name is Darnell Verdon. D.A. 9 months undercover as a mid-level courier. You built his legend yourself, credit history, work record, a cousin in Culiacan nobody will ever actually contact. You have known for 6 weeks that El Jeef's people are watching him. And now El Jeef is sitting across from you asking you to audit Darnell's financial movements and find where the outside money is coming from. The room is very quiet. You say, "Give me 48 hours." You sit at your laptop for 11 minutes before you type anything. 47 seconds of that 11 minutes you spend doing the math, not the financial math, the other math. The math where one man lives or doesn't based on what you build in the next 2 days. Darnell has a daughter too. Her name is Imani. She is 9. You know this because you read his full dossier before you ever set foot in Nogales. You build a false trail. Deposits manufactured from a Guadalajara account that no longer exists. Clean documentation. Believable timestamps. The kind of work that would take a forensic team 3 months to unravel. You make it say Darnell was being paid by the rival cell. Not the government. The rival cell. Then you open your secure line and type 3 words to Uncle Raphael, "Extract Verdun now." The response takes 9 minutes. 9 minutes where a document with Darnell Verdun's fabricated financial history is already inside El Jeef's operation, already being read by men who carry weapons and move without hesitation. Asset extraction authorized. Well done. Darnell is pulled to a Tucson safehouse at 2 a.m. He doesn't know your name. He doesn't know what you built to keep him breathing. He is told only that his cover burned and he needs to disappear for a while. El Jeef concludes Darnell ran. Files it as defection. Closes the folder. The next morning El Jeef shakes your hand. Firm. Both hands. Looks you in the eye. Iris de los Nuestros. You're one of us. You drive back with both windows down. The desert air is dry and hot and smells like nothing. You are one of them now. Officially. Documented. Trusted with the kind of information that gets people buried in the desert without markers. And back in Tucson, Darnell Verdun is alive and furious about a burned cover he'll never fully understand. You saved his life by becoming exactly what you were sent in to destroy. Tell me how that's supposed to feel. Month 7. 214 field reports transmitted. The case has grown into something with its own gravity now. 47 active targets, asset mapping across 3 states, financial trails threading through resort construction in Puerto Vallarta and agricultural exporters in Sinaloa that haven't moved a single legitimate crop in 4 years. Your handler calls it the most penetrated cartel intelligence operation in DEA history. You write that down. Then you stare at what you wrote. The problem comes on a Thursday. 2 of the 47 targets were moved before warrants arrived. Clean disappearances. No digital trace. No tipped phone calls. The kind of escape that only happens when someone upstream knew the timeline. Uncle Raphael doesn't confirm a leak. But he starts calling from different numbers every time. You notice. You don't ask. Inside the operation you notice something else. Kendrick Salazar, El Jeef's chief enforcer, 38 years old, 220 pounds of absolute stillness, has started watching you differently. Not with suspicion. With something harder to manage. Respect. He invites you to a dinner at a ranch outside Hermosillo. 14 people. Lamb. Good tequila. Laughter that sounds almost normal until someone makes a joke about a man in Culiacan who was found last month in pieces, and the table laughs harder. You laugh too. Not because it's funny. Because Marcos Reyes would laugh. Because 11 months of living as someone else means the responses come before the thought does now. The laugh was out of your mouth before you processed the sentence. You pour more tequila. You don't think about it. Your daughter calls you. You. Not your wife calling so she can talk, she calls your number directly. She found it in her mom's phone. She says, "Daddy, are you okay?" 8 years old. Asking if you're okay. You tell her you're fine. You tell her you miss her. You tell her you'll be home soon. She says, "You always say soon," and the line goes quiet for a second, and in that second you feel something move in your chest, sharp, sudden, and then it closes back over like water. "I know," you say. "I know I do." She asks if you promise. You don't answer that. That night, Kendrick Salazar texts you at 11 p.m. El Jeef wants you at a meeting tomorrow. Bring nothing. Tell no one. You set the phone down. Your secure line is charging across the room. You look at it. You look at Kendrick's message. You look at the ceiling. Bring nothing. Tell no one. Which version of you walks into that room tomorrow? The certified letter is already open on the kitchen counter when you walk in. Your wife didn't mail it to Nogales. She mailed it to Phoenix. Your handler's team intercepted it, scanned it, and forwarded it to you as a PDF at 6:43 a.m. with a one-line note attached. Does not affect operational status. Legal separation. Effective immediately. You read it once. You set your phone face down on the table. You make coffee. That's it. That's the whole reaction. No wall punched. No floor sat on. Just coffee. Black. 2 cups. Then back to the laptop because the Puerto Vallarta resort accounts need reconciling before noon. El Jeef sends a paper bag to your apartment that afternoon. $12,000 in banded hundreds. A bonus. No explanation. No note. You photograph every bill for the case file. You put the bag in the kitchen drawer next to the takeout menus. You tell yourself it's evidence. You keep telling yourself that for 11 days. Kendrick Salazar calls that evening. He wants to grab food. Just the two of you. No business. He takes you to a place in Hermosillo with good carne asada and a jukebox playing Chileno Sanchez. He talks about his mother in Culiacan. He talks about a dog he had as a kid named Diablo who was actually terrified of thunder. He makes you laugh. A real laugh. The kind that comes from your stomach. You are laughing with an enforcer who has ordered men killed. You are laughing and it feels like the most human you've felt in 4 months, and that is the most disturbing sentence you will ever say about yourself. You call your daughter that night. She doesn't answer. Your wife picks up, says Aaliyah is at a sleepover, says she'll have her call you tomorrow. She doesn't call tomorrow. You don't follow up. Not because you don't want to. Because Marcos Reyes doesn't have a daughter. And somewhere between month 3 and month 7, the line between you and Marcos Reyes started doing something it was never supposed to do. It started disappearing. You look in the bathroom mirror. Gray at the temples. Eyes that have stopped moving fast. A stillness that isn't peace. You know that face. You just don't know whose it is anymore. El Jeef calls you at 5 a.m. and tells you to come alone. No address. Just a crossroads 11 miles east of the city. You drive there in the dark with your headlights cutting through dust and nothing else. A black SUV is already parked. 2 men outside it. Kendrick in the passenger seat. Jeef is in the back. He doesn't waste time. A lieutenant named Royce Delgado has been moving product without authorization. Skimming off the top. 3 months of quiet theft that somebody finally noticed. Jeef wants the full financial picture, every peso Royce moved, every account it touched, every person who helped him hide it. He wants it by sundown. You find the skimmed funds in 4 hours. Royce was not careful. The accounts are registered under his girlfriend's name, a woman named Tierra who works at a pharmacy in Obregon and has no idea her identity has been used across 6 transactions totaling $340,000. You compile the report. Clean. Precise. Time-stamped. Then you sit very still for a long moment. Because you know what this report is for. This isn't for a courtroom. This isn't for a file. Jeef will read this report, confirm the number, close the folder, and Royce Delgado will not be seen again. You transmit the field report to Uncle Raphael first. Subject: Internal discipline action anticipated. Target: Royce Delgado. Requesting authorization to withhold financial documentation to prevent escalation. Uncle Raphael responds in 6 minutes. Negative. Do not obstruct. Provide the report. Maintain cover. You read that twice. Maintain cover. You deliver the report to Jeef at 4:47 p.m. He reads it at the table while you stand. He nods slowly. Closes the folder. Says, "Buen trabajo." Good work. That night Royce Delgado doesn't come home. His girlfriend Tierra files a missing persons report 3 days later. The Obregon police log it. Nothing moves. You are sitting on your apartment floor at midnight with your back against the couch when it hits you. Not guilt. Something older and colder than guilt. You handed them the math that ended a man. And the worst part, the part that will follow you into every room for the rest of your life, is that the report was flawless. You are very, very good at this. And you are running out of reasons to care. The arrests happen on a Tuesday. 5 a.m. simultaneous execution across 3 states and 2 countries. You watch it on the news in your apartment like a man watching a film he already knows the ending to. Federal spokesperson. Podium. Flags. Significant disruption to a major trafficking network operating across the southwest and northern Mexico. Chucho's face fills the screen. Then Jeef's. Then Kendrick Salazar's, that man who laughed about his thunder-scared dog, in handcuffs outside a ranch in Hermosillo, head down, not fighting it. 41 of 47 targets. Taken clean. Your phone, Chucho's phone, rings once at 5:22 a.m. then goes permanently silent. Like someone cut a wire. Uncle Raphael calls at 6 a.m. His voice carries the particular warmth of a man who slept well. It's done. Outstanding work, Marcus. Debrief in 72 hours. Outstanding work. You set the phone down and sit on the edge of the bed and look at your hands. 11 months. 231 field reports. A marriage that ended in a PDF. A daughter who stopped calling. Gray hair you earned in your early 30s. A man named Royce Delgado who is in the desert somewhere because your report was flawless. Outstanding work. You fly home to Phoenix on a commercial flight. Window seat. The woman next to you is reading a novel. The man across the aisle is watching a movie on his tablet and laughing at something. Normal people. A normal Tuesday afternoon flight. You press your forehead against the cold window and watch the desert move underneath you. Your real name is on the boarding pass. First time in 11 months. It looks strange. Like a name you heard once and filed away. The house is the same. Aaliyah's drawing still on the refrigerator, a purple horse, a house with smoke coming from the chimney, a figure labeled Daddy with a smile that takes up half the face. She drew that before you left. You stand in the kitchen for a long time. The refrigerator hums. The house is empty. Outside, a neighborhood is doing what neighborhoods do, normal, unchanged, indifferent. You did everything right. So why does it feel like you lost? The debrief runs 4 days. Conference room. No windows. Lawyers from 3 agencies. A recorder on the table that nobody acknowledges out loud. You speak for 16 hours across 3 sessions, account numbers, courier routes, names, dates, the customs officer in Agua Prieta, the judge in Sonora whose rulings came with a seasonal price tag, all of it. They write fast. They ask good questions. They don't ask how you are. On day 4, a deputy director you've never met shakes your hand and presents a commendation in a blue folder. No ceremony. No audience. The commendation references an operation with a classified code name. It will not appear in your public personnel file. The operation it describes does not officially exist. You are awarded recognition for work that never happened. You shake his hand. You say thank you. You mean neither. The case will generate prosecutions running 6 to 8 years through federal courts. 41 defendants. Asset forfeitures projected at $2.3 billion. It will be cited in congressional hearings. It will be used to justify budget increases. Careers will be built on what you built inside that operation. Your name will appear in none of it. You request a transfer. Desk work. Training division. Somewhere quiet with fluorescent lights and bad coffee and nothing on the line. The request is approved in 2 days. You sit at your new desk on a Monday morning. Gray carpet. Gray walls. A monitor with the government seal as the screensaver. The kind of office where nobody asks questions because nobody wants the answers. The system got exactly what it needed from you. The system always does. And somewhere south of the border, in a city that just lost 41 people to federal warrants, a phone is already ringing in a new office. Someone new is picking it up right now. His name is Jalen Cross. 29. Clean record. 2 commendations. He's sitting at a desk that looks exactly like yours did. The email has no subject line. 4 words in the body. He reads it once. Twice. His hands don't shake. He hits reply. He has no idea what gets traded in rooms with no windows. No idea what a man looks like after 11 months of living as someone else. No idea what it costs. He'll find out. They always do. The cycle begins again. If this story hit different, if you felt every chapter in your chest, then you already know this isn't just fiction. Systems like this exist. People walk into them every single day thinking they'll be the one who makes it out unchanged. They never do. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next story on this channel is the kind that doesn't let you sleep. Real. Raw. The stories that inspire you, shake you, and remind you what it actually costs to live a double life. Drop a comment below and tell us, at what point in this story did you feel it shift? When did Marcus stop being the agent and start becoming something else? Your answer might inspire someone else scrolling through these comments right now. Share this. Someone needs to see it.